Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to FearlessChoice.com. College basketball, DFS pre-lock live. Pete Cole here by myself, solo. So I'm going to be talking fast. Sorry for the little delay there, but we're up and running. So you FearlessChoice.com. Anybody that's new, just checking us out for the first time. We may have some new people on here, but we have right now 12 days of Christmas special going on. Everything is free on our site. Our articles, our cheat sheets, all that kind of stuff is free. So check us out. If you like it after 12 days, give us a try. It's our thing. I've been with these guys since the beginning. I've been with a bunch of sites in my career. This is obviously one of the coolest sites I've been with. But all college sports. We're still doing college football. Got college football going on Saturday, a 5-gamer, the Bowl Bonanza. Tonight we got big hockey slate. There's right up going on for that. Huge hockey slate. And then we have a college basketball. Tomorrow we have European hoops was today. I think is one Thursday. But all the small sports plus the big sports, MLB, Star Flagship, NFL, NBA, and all that. So you guys came here to talk college hoops. We have a slate locks at 7. So not to bore you guys, I'm just going to go through each game real quick. And then give like my top plays, maybe what I think is going to be popular, what I think is going to be chalky or not, and then we'll get the hell out of here, okay? So I think it's actually a pretty good slate for once. DK's actually tightened up their pricing a little bit, which is finally cool. We don't have a million guys sitting, the 4 to 5K range where everybody's got the same lineup. It may be a little bit chalky tonight, so I'm hoping that maybe we can pull a couple guys out today as we're talking that maybe can get us away from the chalk, because there's nothing worse than we're all in these double ups. It's like $25 double up, and we all got the same lineups except 2v2s. And then I get messed with my lineup because I don't want to be the same as everybody. Next year, I have a crappy lineup when it's all said and done because I'm trying to be different. So but tonight may be a little bit different. There's more games. We got a couple blowout games though, which we need to take a look at. And then we have a couple tight games, a couple pace-up games, and all that. So you guys have any questions? Ask them in this YouTube chat. I'll try to answer them. If not, my producer or somebody will jump in there. Also, if you're on our Discord, you can go ahead and ask them in the general room. I'll try to keep an eye on that, okay? So let's get going here. First game of the night is 7 p.m. First game we're talking about is North Carolina, Furman. Okay, so we got Furman. North Carolina's at home. North Carolina's a 10.5-point favorite. The game over under 156, which is one of the highest of the slate. I think it is the highest, right? I think it's actually the highest of the slate. North Carolina is the 4th highest team applied to A325. This may actually be one of the better games. It's not a blowout. Furman is not that bad of a team, and it's only 10 points. Because we got a couple of these other games. We're dealing with the Tennessee game, the Duke game, Houston, where they have more problems. So this is kind of I'm considering a little bit of a pace-up game. So let's take a look at Furman first. Actually, Furman's got a couple players that were interested in cash. And first of all, get right to is Jalen Slauson at 6'9". I got a feeling he's going to be chalky. And my problem with Slauson, and I got burned by this last night. I got cute last night. I think it was a Cooper Ness, and I faded Cooper Ness because he's been cold. He's been hitting like 20% on his threes beyond the arc, and then all of a sudden he finally got hot last night, which I knew was going to happen at some point, but it did last night, and I ended up fading Ness, so I got burned in cash. But Slauson's gonna be that type of play tonight. He's definitely on this Furman team. He's like the whole offense, really. I mean, not the whole offense. You got Bothwell there, but Bothwell's numbers are going down. Slauson right now, last 10 games, 27% usage. He's playing over 30 minutes, 16 points a game, almost 9 rebounds a game, averaging 40 DK points a game. So if there's any other game but Carolina, I would be all over Slauson 100%. My problem, though, with Slauson tonight is he is guarding Armando Bacot, who definitely will draw fouls. And if he was not guarding Bacot, I said he'd be all over it. I still think he's a cash play. I'm not on him like probably the rest of the industry is. He's still made up in my main lineup, but I'm not in love with him. And you look at Slauson's, and to make it even worse is Slauson's last three games, I think it is. 4 games against was at Appalachian State. The game before that, Winthrop, five fouls. Game before that, College Charleston, 4 fouls. Game before that, High Point, Rocky Mountain High Point, 5 fouls. So in the last 4 games, he's had 18 fouls. And now he's going up against Armando Bacot, who draws fouls, who's a stud. That's going to be the big issue of this. But once again, you got a guy now going back to his last 3 games, those same games, 27% shot rate, 30% rebound rate, 33% assist rate. So he's got huge numbers. I really think this is going to be the one key point in your cash line, make a decision, do you play Slauson or not. I'm not even going to sit here and tell you what to do. Right now I'm in the middle, but I would like to lean toward maybe fading him and playing my second lineup, but he's going to be chalky. He's going to be popular. Okay. Then you got Mike Bothwell, 7,400. To me, he's a GPP play. He's a kind of like one of those guys. He's a shooter only, shot reliant for DFS. And especially at 7,400, he's more expensive than Slauson, so GBP. And then you got other guys, Alex Hunter at 6,300. Hunter keeps popping up when I'm making lineups. When I'm doing some optos and projections, Hunter does keep popping up. It seems like my last spot is always around that 6K range. Don't mind him. His shot rate is, I think, just under 20%. Playing almost 40 minutes a game, though. Problem is his usage is 20%, which is not too bad, but averaging 31 DK points. Once again, a lot of these games are against shit teams and, non-North Carolina type teams. And the other thing is I just saw a note too. These guys have been playing, I think they had a bunch of overtime games. So their numbers are inflated a little bit on that end too. So you're going back at their logs, seeing some crazy numbers from these guys. Just remember that a lot of these games they've had 4 overtime games this year. So the log is going to be inflated a little bit. One thing about Alex Hunter, though, he does shoot the 3. North Carolina does struggle against the 3. He's shooting 45% from beyond the arc right now. So if anything, I would play Hunter over Bothwell. And then I'm going to make a decision on Slauson. So we can sit here and talk all day about this game. I do like this game. I'm game stacking it. 1 GBP, definitely. On the other end, we got North Carolina. To me, Armando Bacot is a core play for me. A lot of places I'm reading are looking at the Duke guys. They're all great. Wendell Moore and them, but I'm all over Bacot tonight. 9K. It's reasonable for him. And he really hasn't, if you think about it, he really hasn't gotten, his problem has always been the fouls. And he really hasn't had that many foul issues. I was just actually looking at it before I came on. He has not a foul problem since the 20th against Purdue, and the game before that, College of Charleston. Same problem that had Slauson, same team that knocked him out. He had 4 fouls, but since then he hasn't had no more than. We had 3 against Georgia Tech, but everything else has been either 1 or 2. So that's nice to know. That was always a problem. Bacot, which always to me put him in GVP territory, but tonight I'm all over Armando Bacot. To me, he's a core play. Huge rates, rebounding rates, huge scoring rate. Just to me, lock him in. You just don't overthink this one. Anybody else in Carolina? Yes, you got good. Jay Kearney. Totally agree with me. There's like 4 game scoopers of overtime. So let anybody else play some of these guys. Caleb Love. I think Caleb Love is in a great spot also. 7,900. I'm going back and forth on Caleb Love tonight as my main guard. or am I going with Jaden Shackelford? But I do like Love. I mean, last year we all bitched about Love, freshman going through growing pains. This year he's a real deal. He's a stud. Playing crazy minutes right now. He is leading he leads the Tar Heels in minutes played, leads them in scoring, leads them in steals, leads them in assists. And he's tied actually with Dawson Garcia with usage like 24.2%. He scored at least 36 DK points in his last 3 games with an 83 implied score tonight. I'm all over Caleb Love. I'm not sure if you're probably not going to be able to get – you can get Love and Bacot together in a lineup, but then you got to take Shackelford out. So I'm pretty much, to me, I'm playing 2 of those 3 guys probably in my main lineup. Love, Shackelford, or Armando Bacot. Anybody else in Carolina? RJ Davis, 6'7" is a little bit too expensive. If RJ Davis is like around 5'5", I'd be over more maybe, but he is playing over 30 minutes. I'm just getting like middling rates. And then you got a guy like Leaky Black, GPP only. All right, so Furman Carolina game right now. Slauson is in play. Alex Hunter's in play. Armando Bacot and Caleb Love. All right, now there's something that's blocking my. We have some kind of a thing going on. Never mind. One of our contest things. Never mind. Okay, so the next game we're looking at tonight is the Tennessee game. Now, this is crazy game to look at. This USC Upstate 35-point favorite. Tennessee is. Question is, who do you play in this game? Nobody from Upstate. Tennessee's got such a tight defense. Maybe Bryce Mazzone for GBP because he's only 4'8". He would be the only one I would even attempt to look at. 25% usage, 25 DK fantasy points, GBP only. But on Tennessee side, you can't play these guys in cash because of the blowout factor, and you don't know how long these guys are going to play. And I get bad experience, especially that last game in Kennedy Chandler. Yeah, Chandler's a play, but GBP only. But there is one play on this team for Tennessee I'm really interested in is the backup point guard, Zakai Ziegler. And he may actually be in my main lineup. A lot of people are going back to the kid from Louisiana, Joe Charles, as their main value. I like Ziegler instead. When he's on the court, he's playing like 21 minutes a night over his last 5. And he is averaging 15 DK fantasy points a game over his last 5 in 20 minutes. But I'm assuming he's gonna get burned tonight because of the blowout factor, especially when you got Kenny Chandler is going to sit probably halfway through the game. Ziegler's going to go in there, going to get that extended burn. I love him at 3'8". I think he's a value core and not Joe Charles. That's the way I look at it. He's probably going to I could see Ziegler getting 30 minutes. I don't take that as the gospel, but if he's playing 22 minutes last 5, I could see him playing another 8 minutes in his blowout, but they're gonna run the kid out there tonight. So we could definitely get a good 20, 22 DK points out of this kid. And Jacob Lovejoy, and that's my problem. I agree with you. Slauson's going to be hard to fade because he's only 6'9" when he's cheaper than Mike Bothwell, and he's going to be popular. That's my only problem. And I made that mistake last night. I faded Cooper Ness, and he was really popular, and Ness went off. So that's the problem with Slauson and Cash. You may have to play him, but he isn't a good fade pivot spot. All right, so enough of that junk Tennessee game. Zakai Ziegler is your play. The next game after that is a 7:00 game, Miami of Ohio, Clemson. I actually kind of like this game. Clemson 8.5 point favorite at home. The over-under is 136, kind of toward the bottom, but there is some plays actually that I'm interested in this game. So start with Miami, Ohio side. I'm a big fan of Makai Larry. He's a point guard. He's a leader of the team. He had a big game already against the ACC team. Was it Georgia Tech? I think it was. 30% usage rate over his last 5, 14.8 scoring rate over his last 5. I like Makai Larry a lot. I can see him being on my main lineup tonight. He's probably more people might actually be more interested in Day Grant at 6'1", who's a little bit more expensive, but I'm over Larry tonight. My only problem with using Larry is he's going to be guarded by Nick Honor. Nick Honor is a tough defender, especially Nick Honor can get burned by the taller guards, but Larry is only 5'8". So that's my only question mark. I can see Nick Honor possibly shutting him down, but you got a guy that he's got 28% shot rate over his last 3. I still like him. So maybe my main lineup, but there is a little bit of a blemish there with Nick Honor guarding. Anybody else in this game? So I mentioned Day Grant. Him and Day Grant and Larry are pretty much the usage guys. Larry's a shooter. Well, Grant's got 20% shot rate, also decent assist rate. Grant's $500 more. I like Larry better for cash. You got Delonte Brown at 6,800, plays a lot of minutes. He's actually playing better, but with all these other prices, other guys out here, GBP only. And then Precious Aya, his name is he's popping up in optos most of the day. Also, he's a center, cheap. He's not going to be in my main lineup, but I can see people coming back and using him. He's under 20% usage, averaging 20 DK points a game. Once again, he's only 4-1, but you're going to get some rebounds out of him. He's averaging 5 rebounds a game, playing 20 minutes. That's not a cash player to me for main, but he is popping up in opto. Just kind of beware of that. On the other end, Clemson, PJ Hall. PJ Hall is finally like showing what we all thought he had. I like PJ Hall. I mean, he's a stud. Problem with PJ Hall is he could get himself into foul trouble. And there's a bunch of guys on the slate, but man, Hall's been looking good lately. He had a big game last couple of games. He just had an OT game under his belt, 24% shot rate. The problem is his price also came up. So, but PJ Hall you can kind of put in that cash bucket. There's a few guys in that 7-1 range you can put in cash. One's Hawkins from Creighton. The Hall is there also. Nick Honor, I'm not on Nick Honor tonight. I just feel like Nick Honor is a one-trick pony. If Nicky gets hot, watch him at Fordham. He's a good shooter, but that's pretty much all he does, especially with PJ Hall now playing like we all thought he could play. Puts Nick Honor down, but you can play him in GBPs. But if he gets hot shooting the threes, boom, it could win you something. So GBP only. All right, that's my Ohio Clemson side of that game. Looking at Mekai Larry, cash play possibly. PJ Hall, cash / GBP. Maybe a little Day Grant. To me, more GBP play. ASU Creighton. I like this game actually too. So this is a game we got Arizona State traveling to Creighton. Creighton's a 7-point favorite, 135 over under. This may actually be the lowest over under on the slate actually, but there is a few plays we could look at for DFS. Creighton side, I'm a huge Ryan Nembhard fan. 5'7", his price is still reasonable. Definitely lock him in my main lineups. A couple other guys in the same price range you can play, but you can definitely play in Ryan Nembhard tonight. Last 3 games, 20% shot rate, 32% assist rate. The minutes leader on the team. He's getting better and better every game. Definitely can play Ryan Nembhard. It is kind of a slower paced game, but I'm all over the kid. Hawkins, Ryan Hawkins. Hawkins, the other guy, he's in the same price range as PJ Hall. His price is probably gone up a little bit too high. If he's 6'5", I would say he's a lock for cash. He came from a Division II team, came out of nowhere. But man, this kid he had a really good game on Saturday. He was lighting it up on Saturday. Now his usage is going up. He's still only at 20% usage, but if you look at his last few games, he had 42 DK points against BYU. BYU's not a pushover defense. Against the last game for that, 32 DK points. 38. We had one game North Dakota State. We only had 6. But Hawkins, GBP only, but I still like him at 7-1. He's going to be, if I'm making 3 lineups, he's one of my lineups. Anybody else we're forgetting about Ryan Kalkbrenner. So I got burned by Kalkbrenner on Saturday. I talked about him in my article. Great play in cash for value, but then I didn't use him. I ended up using somebody, I think was it Rice for Georgetown or something. But Kalkbrenner's price all of a sudden is up to 6'3". he went from like 4-5 to 6 threes on Saturday. We know though what Kalkbrenner can do. Last Saturday, he was averaging like 20, 21 minutes a game. Next thing you know, on Saturday, they pumped his minutes up, and he totally crushed. So I mean, he's got it in him. Let me see. On Saturday, he played 32 minutes, 35 DK points, 9 rebounds, 14 points, almost double. The game before that, 10 rebounds, 6 points, and only 26 minutes, 22 DK. So I still his minutes aren't there. I need to see 3 or 4 games. He's playing 30 minutes, especially at that price. So GPP only for Kalkbrenner. Jay Kearney's asking a bunch of questions I missed. Hawkins or Kalk? Right now, I'm Hawkins. Well, with Kalk being cheaper, Hawkins still. Yeah, definitely Hawkins. Well, we still got to get to Matt. To Marcus Saucer. So I like Saucer actually too. Chris Besh, Hall or Shatter, Mackie Saucer or Charles. You guys are asking me questions before I even get to the games yet. Chris got answers fans. Probably the first one, Hall Shed, but I'll get to Shed in a second. So ASU, the only one I'm looking at is Kamani Lawrence, 6'9", GBP. He's playing minutes, but the problem is you got Jay Heath back, so he's going to cut into his shoot and all that. GDP only. Maybe Heath, if you want to get crazy, but Kamani Lawrence, the only player from ASU you want to play as for GVPs. Okay, I love you too, Chris. Next game, the Duke game. So this is the game a lot of people have been asking about all day. What to do with Duke? Because Duke is in a smash spot tonight. The problem is Duke. Let me see. So I think Duke's the next game, right? Yeah. So Duke is favored by what? 36.5. South Carolina State, one of the worst offensive teams in the country, almost as bad as the team Houston's playing. It's not Houston, the Tennessee game. So South Carolina State, really, really bad offense. Duke's gonna blow them away. The problem is Duke hasn't played a game in like 2 weeks or something. So I'm assuming they're going to give their players some burn. They do have a light bench because I do see that Theo John is out. So you got to make a decision. Wendell Moore normally would probably be the top player of the slate. But most of these guys will probably see 20 to 22 minutes tonight. Moore, Banchero, Keels, all these guys. If we know that Moore's playing 30 minutes, I would probably play him over Armando Bacot. But since that's not guaranteed, man, I'm probably going to go on Bacot. And to me, Wendell Moore's GPP play. We know they're going to kill him. We know it's going to be huge, but we don't know how many minutes Moore's going to be in there. So to me, that's why I like Armando Bacot over Wendell Moore. Still great play, probably top play to slate overall. Not taking any other factors in. But that brings us to Mark Williams. So I want somebody from Duke in my lineup. And people were asking me before, can you play Williams and Moore together? Probably not in cash. You can play them in you can play them in GBPs. But Mark Williams, with Theo John out, I'm assuming Williams' minutes are going to go up. You can't guarantee that, but with Severino out, Severino's game time decision, I'm assuming he's out. If Williams can get us the last game 22 minutes, the game before that, Gonzaga, he played 29 minutes. They got us 44 TK points. If we can get 25, 30 points out of Mark Williams, he's a lock. To me, he's a lock. He's a core player. In this game, he's probably going to get more burn than more of those guys. So, to me, I'm locking in Mark Williams. You want to get crazy, then go play Wendell Moore. I wouldn't play Williams with him. Sit Armando Bacot, make him put him in your alternate, and play Moore. But you could probably take the slate down if Moore gets 30 minutes. It's a chance you got to take. I'm not taking that chance in cash though. All right, next game is Houston, another like semi-type blowout game. I think it's Houston. Yep, semi-type blowout game. Louisiana Lafayette, Fast team though. Going up against Houston. Houston's a 23.5-point favorite. I can see this game. Actually, me and Chris were talking about this earlier. Chris Best, that this game could be a little bit tighter. Louisiana Lafayette can run with these guys, so maybe it's closer, and that's why I'm starting to like Marcus Saucer more and more at 8,500. Do I like him? Is it going to take me off Shackelford? Probably not. But Saucer, the last blowout game, I wished I played him. I did in the last second. I took him out, but I did put in Trayman Mark. Saucer went off. He played almost the whole game. So it seems like some of these blowouts, they are keeping Sasser in, keeping the team together. But if I'm making an alternate lineup, Saucer is leading that alternate lineup. I'd be like a Saucer Caleb Love instead of like a Bacat Shackelford or something. Trayman Mark, I love 5,300, especially if it's a blowout. Mark's going to be in there. We saw that the last blowout. He's in there. He's going to score. He's going to get you a bunch of shit, a bunch of steals, a bunch of assists. He's going to play. So you'd rather play Trayman Mark in blowouts than you would in these closer games. Fabian White, same thing. Fabian White's a GBP play. Solid play, though, but he may sit because of the blowout. And then that brings us to Jamal Shed at $4,600. Shed's the one, if you're on our Discord, we were posting, he went viral in that video when his teammate kicked over the garbage can, and Shed went over there and picked up all the garbage. That old guy yelling at him. So Shed's like going viral now. But great play, Jamal Shed at 4,600 tonight. Probably my favorite value to me. He's like slash value, him and Ziegler. He started the last 5 games. He's playing almost 30 minutes a game now. He's a sophomore. And I think if it's a blow, they're going to keep him in there. He's averaging nearly 7 assists a game over his last 5. He's not going to score you a bunch of points, but he's going to get you peripherals. So Jamal Shed is a great value play tonight. I'm probably locking in Shed and Ziegler together. So Chris, I'd probably say Hall or Shed of your question, Hall or Shed over Saucer and Charles. Anybody else from Houston? No. On the now, here's the other thing on the Louisiana side. We got one guy here. This guy, Joe Charles. So Joe Charles is popping up in all the optos, a lot of sites. I brought him up in my top plays. He's 3-7. Okay, he's a freshman. He finally started his first game last game. I did pull his rates up now. I don't have it in front of me, but he's being cored. A lot of people are using him as a core. So his last game when he played 30 minutes, he did Louisiana Tech. He had 24 DK points, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, only 1 foul. It's not bad. If he does, the problem is, what time is this game? This is the 8 o'clock game. If you play Joe Charles over like a Ziegler, the kid from Tennessee, you want to make sure you have a pivot, because we find out Charles doesn't start and you don't want him in your main lineup. So make sure you find somebody else in these last 3 games, 8 and 9 o'clock, or the Creighton game, that you can switch out Joe Charles. But Charles doesn't play at 3-7. I would rather go Tennessee kid in the blowout, who I just know is an exciting player, can score. But Charles is effective in that game at 3-7. So he doesn't play for cash. Just make sure he's starting. He's only started 1 game in his career, but it was last game. Okay, so that's the Houston game. Now you got Alabama, Memphis. This is probably the game of the night. The highest over, actually, it's not the highest over under. Now you got the Carolina Furman's the highest over under now. But this is definitely a pace-up game. Memphis is a mess right now. You know they got the talent. They can definitely go off one of these days. And we know that Bama can get crazy too. Can play down to their opponents. So I'm really looking forward to this game. This is where it's tough playing Alabama guys. I know Shackelford could go off, or Keon could go off, or Quinterly could go off, but I think Jaden Shackelford's kind of calmed down a bit this year, where he is. Is he a core play? I cored him. I'm not in love with him like I was earlier, especially when I'm more looking at guys like Caleb Love and stuff. But Shackelford's in play, and they probably will be in my main lineup at 7-2. Keon Ellis, $500 more GBP play. His price have pretty much came down when Javon Cornerly and Shaka Ford's rates have gone up. So to me, Shaka Ford's a GPP at the cash, Ellis GPP, and then you got JD Davison at 5.3. Davison's going to be popular because of his price. He doesn't shoot a lot. I'm not in love with him tonight, but I can definitely see him in a main lineup at 5.3, definitely. So for this team, Shaka Ford cash, JD Davison cash. On a Memphis side, to me, these guys are all GPP plays, but you don't know where the hell they're going. We know Jalen Durant could definitely take the slate over. Definitely could have the highest score to slate with his rebound and block shots. We could also get foul trouble. I like Durant tonight as one of the sneaky plays. You can't play him in cash, though. Now, DeAndre Williams is priced up to 6.1. You can't play DeAndre Williams in cash at that price. His rate is, he's still getting the same rates, but his price has gone up. One sneaky play would be Tyler Harris at 3.5. As long as he starts, make sure you're starting. So possibly if you play this Joe Charles character, he doesn't start. So miss another play. Maybe go to Tyler Harris, or Tyler Harris is starting. Harris is not going to get you much, but at 3.5 in a pace-up game, should be able to make a value for you. All right, so I'm not messing with Imoni Bates. He just really hasn't done much this year. There's a freshman, a great talent at 5.4. GVP, of course. He gets hot, shooter. He can run it, but GVP only. And that takes us to the last game. Arkansas, Pine Bluff, I think it was Arkansas, Pine Bluff's got this horrible offense. At Texas, 35.5 point favorite Texas is. The problem is, first of all, you don't play anybody from Arkansas, Pine Bluff. Nobody. Maybe Sean Williams, because he's 4'9". He's like the usage guy, but they're not going to score anything. Texas, I'm a huge Timmy Allen guy. Timmy Allen's my favorite college basketball players. I'm the president of his fan club, but you can't play. Texas is too deep. You're going to see a lot of guys tonight. Timmy playing 30. You're not going to see Marcus Carr playing 30. You're not going to see Trey Mitchell playing 30. These guys are all GPP plays because he's going to be playing 11, 12 guys. All right, so GPP only. You want to stack them, play Mitchell, Carr, and Allen together, but only GPPs. You can't play these guys in cash. All right, so that's pretty much a quick rundown of the games. You got I can give you my top plays for each position. We can go over that quick. So somebody just asked you, any love for who? Charles Bideko? Is that who it was? Bideko, problems, he gets in foul trouble. 5'5". Bideko can definitely get crazy though on GPP for you. So GPP only, Jay Kearney. He has foul problems, doesn't shoot much, but you get the purples and a good game, GPP only. All right. Let's go to each position quick before we get out of here. I can make my lineup, so there's a made change now. So looking at guard right now. My top guard of the slate is probably still going to be Jaden Shackelford. To me, it's either Shackelford or Caleb Love. Looks like that Carolina and probably might have went up. Play either of them. Caleb Love $700 more. I'm just a sucker for Jaden Shackelford in a prime spot. Pace up game with Memphis. He's leading scorer, leading rebounder, 28% shooting rate, 24.9 usage rate for Shaq. So Shaq's my top guard. Caleb Love is like 1A. I like Mekhi Larry. I like him a lot. But Miami, Ohio. I'm a little bit concerned about Nicky Honor guarding him, but Larry still a GPP, a cash play. Huge Ryan Nembhard guy. I want to get Ryan Nembhard in my cash line if I can. Then you got your values. Jamal Shed for Houston, who's been starting now. Should get some run and blowout. He's my value. And then Zakai Zegler from Tennessee. He doesn't start, so don't worry if you play him, but he should get a lot of run, a lot of burn tonight, and this big blowout for Tennessee. So they're like my top guard plays. Kennedy Chandler, GBP only. Hunter for Furman, great pace-up game. You can get him in there, I guess. JD Davison's going to be popular. I'm not huge on Davison, but he's going to be popular. You can play him in cash. And I mentioned Marcus Saucer love Saucer tonight. This thing is a little bit high for cash, but if I'm making 2 lineups, Saucer is headlining my second lineup at guard. That's pretty much it for guard. For any of the values, maybe Tyler Harris, I said, if he's starting. Here's another one I didn't really mention was Josh Aldrich, but Dart at 3.7. Okay, forwards. My top 4 slate is Armando Bacot. I love Bacot tonight. If Duke was playing a tighter game, it would be Wendell Moore, but I'm playing at Bacot. Elite rebounder, 12% offensive, 26% defensive, 6.5% block rate, huge upside. Bacot's my play. Now the question for me is, do you play Jalen Slauson from Furman as a cash play? He's going to be popular. He's going to be cored in most places. I'm scared though because he's playing against Bacot, who draws fouls. Slauson is pretty much getting 4 fouls a game, 4 or 5 fouls a game over his last 4. He is, but that's also why the fouls are kind of baked into that price of 6.9. Probably will end up Slauson in my main lineup. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't know. It's this the decision tonight. I can see Bacot. I can see him sitting at the 5 minutes into the game mark with 2 fouls against Bacot. But just know he's going to be popular. I got burned last night not playing Cooper Ness. I don't play Slauson. I'm going to get burnt tonight. But also, if you don't play him, he gets in foul trouble against Carolina. You're already ahead of the field playing somebody else in that range, like a Mark Williams. I love Mark Williams tonight from Duke. So if you're not playing Wendell Moore, play Mark Williams from Duke. He should get a little bit more minutes tonight and then blow out. If he gets 25 minutes, I'm all in. Lock him. The top value at 4 tonight is a kid we talked about, Joe Charles from Louisiana. Just make sure he's starting. If he's starting, you can play him at 3.5. He should be able to make value. Doesn't need much. He needs what? He needs like 12 DK points to get value, get a couple rebounds. I'm still on the guard values better, especially as Zakai Zegler. But if you need 2 values, you can play Joe Charles. Any other forwards? PJ Hall, great play. Hall's finally becoming a player we all thought he would. Problem is his price is up now. He could get in foul trouble. Ryan Hawkins, same thing. Ryan Hawkins, I like him. The D2 transfer. Now his price is gone up a little bit. Back-to-back 25 real point games though. You got anybody else? You got also AJ Griffin. He could be I'm seeing him popping up at some values. He's gonna get minutes in the blowout though, so you can pop in AJ Griffin at only 3.8. Anybody else is a bunch of nobodies. Arthur Kluma, maybe Creighton. He could get 20 minutes. Sneaky GVP play. I mentioned Precious Aya, rebounder, and then my man Timmy Allen. Blowout wrist though, he's not going to play much. Oh, one of the names, Jalen Duran. Jalen Duran is like my sneaky play for GVPs. He could either go off and get you 50 DK tonight, or he could get you 4. Get foul trouble. That's how this Memphis team is right now. All right. Anybody? Any questions before we get out of here? We got like 15 minutes to lock. Nothing. Okay, I think that's it. I'll probably have another show like Thursday or Friday. If not, we'll have a show on Discord. So there might be a show tomorrow. I got to figure it out. If not, it'll be on Discord. It's decent slate. And I'm planning on doing a college football show for the Bowl Bonanza on Saturday. All right, guys. Good luck. Once again, check us out. 12 Days of Christmas. Everything is free on yourfielderschoice.com. Check us out. Join our Discord. Discord is free, and you can see all the articles on there and our cheat sheets. Peace. Deuces out of here. Thanks. Hi, man.